Hello and congratulations on getting access to this video course on the blueprint to setting up smart one-time offers. So this is video number 1, which is the introduction and quick overview. So when it comes to selling your products and services online, you need to ensure that your whole funnel converts. Everything from your lead magnet to your freebie, whatever you're using to build your list, to your front-end offer, and then to your one-time offer. So in other words, everything needs to be consistent and congruent. If it is not, then your funnel will not convert. But you'll get a better idea as I actually go through and show you step by step. Now, before we begin, we need to check your mindset. And then of course, after that, I'll give you a quick overview of the video course itself so you know exactly what to expect. All right, so let's talk about mindset. So most likely if you're watching this, you are open, but I want to make sure that you remove any type of perceived notions or thoughts or assumptions that could potentially block you from actually achieving your goal. What I've noticed over time and time again is oftentimes it's not the strategy, but it's actually the mindset that is blocking it. And it's not just the, oh, I can't do this. It's other things that are actually coming into your mind that you don't even know that are aware of that are blocking you. So I've seen too many times either product business owners or service-based business owners or any type of business owners, they often, not all, but some of them, a minority, tends to say, I hate one-time offers. Anytime you think, I hate one-time offers, or I hate funnels, or I hate this and that, those things can actually block you from achieving what you want to achieve. So I want to make sure that you throw that out the door so you can focus on the video course. And at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what we like. What matters is what our customers want. All right. So it's easier for me to say, put yourself in other people's shoes. But in reality, it's actually very hard to do unless you really remove those things out of your mind. And then it makes it easier. And then I'll give you some formulas that you can actually implement that will help you achieve that. Then on the flip side, you've got your customers. Now, if your customers are saying, I hate one-time offers, then that's a different thing. That's something that is clearly wrong with your sales funnel. Now, if one or two people saying that, that's usually okay. But if you got 3, 4, or 5, typically the rule of thumb is if one person is saying that, then 100 other people are just not saying it at all. They're just walking away annoyed. All right, so that is a good place to be because that will allow you to say, okay, what is wrong? What can I fix this? All right, so that's what we're going to do today. So now that we have covered that, let's talk about the video course itself and give you a quick overview of the course. So video number 1 is, of course, this particular video. Video number 2 is why you must have one-time offers, which will be a basic video, but will set the tone for everything else. Video number 3 will be why most one-time offers aren't converting. Video number 4 will be an overview of the smart one-time offer and why they convert, so you have a better idea about how they convert and the fundamentals basically. And then of course video number 5, we're going to dive into actually practical application. We'll take what you learned in the previous video and then apply that in video number 5. So in video number 5, we'll talk about how to create a funnel with smart one-time offers. So I'll actually go to Lucidchart or a mind mapping software and break things down so you can visually see it. Video number 6, we'll talk about different examples. We'll give you smart one-time offer, real example, and we'll relate it to products. And then in video number 7, we'll do something similar but relate it to services. So if you have a product, you should have a better idea. If you have a service, you'll have a better idea there. And of course, last but not least, video number 8, we'll talk about different platforms, shopping cart systems that will actually help you achieve this. So will help you actually build out the one-time offers. So now that you have a better idea of that, here's what you need. You need a product or a service. You need an open mind. You need the willingness to take action. And you need a mind map software. Like Lucidchart.com is what I'm going to be using, and I love that software. Or you can use a free mind mapping software. You can even use a paper and a pen if that suits you. Whatever helps you absorb this information better, use that, because different people are different. We got visual learners, we got auditory learners, and we have kinesthetic learners. So whatever works best for you is is best. All right. So now that we've covered that, let's move on to video number 2. Welcome back. This is video number 2. And in this particular video, we will talk about why you must have one-time offers. The purpose of this video is kind of to set the tone and to kind of get you into this headspace. So I really want you to think about this. Have you ever thought about how much one-time offers can really make a difference? We're talking about the one-time offers that are only revealed after you purchase a product. We're not talking about the McDonald's bump sale, as we call it, where they say, would you like fries with that, or would you like to basically make it bigger? We're talking about the one-time offers that people only see after they have said, I trust you, I've whipped out my wallet, and I bought the front end offer. So these are going to be a lot more high converting. Or have you just accepted because some other marketer or somebody else told you that they work? So really what we're trying to do here is dissect them. All right. Once you have a better understanding of them, it just makes it easier. Now, it's oftentimes good to look at whys, different angles, so you understand how to pinpoint the weaknesses in your funnel. So even if your funnel is converting, there's always room for improvement. And that is the mindset that is going to get you far. So if you can kind of get into that headspace, then you're going to do wonders for your funnel. Now, when we did tests back in the day, we found that just adding, an extra 1 or 2 one-time offer can literally triple your sales if done right. If you follow this blueprint and you're making, let's say, a couple grand, you could potentially double that or triple that just by adding a one-time offer. Now, obviously there's no guarantee, but that's just something that we have found personally within our own tests and with our own experience. So not having a one-time offer actually makes you rely solely on the front end offer. And what happens to your mindset is this. What ends up happening is that you are solely focused on the initial customer acquisition that you totally forget about your existing customers who have already proven themselves to want more from you. As long as you are, providing good quality, of course, they're going to want to buy more from you, assuming that you have solved your promise initially. Now that you think about that, how many one-time offers do you really need? Well, that depends on the problem that you're trying to solve. In other words, maybe instead of asking that question, you should ask, how much does it take? How many one-time offers does it take to help your customers solve their problems? Does it take 1? Does it take 2? Does it take 3? Or does it take 4? Now, of course, you don't want to get too many, or of course, that will just annoy the customer and anger them. So you want to do it in moderation and enough that will actually help solve their problems. Now, some customers may want a few one-time offers, such as they might want to do it themselves. And then some customers might want to have you do it for them, and they're willing to pay more money to do that. So I want you to get kind of in that headspace and mindset. It's just going to make things easier in building out your whole funnel. All right, with that said, let's move on to the next video. Hello and welcome back. This is video number 3, and we're going to talk about why most one-time offers are not converting. And the reason why is this will help you pinpoint the weaknesses, and that will help you create better one-time offers. So before we can jump in and start mapping things out, you need to understand why they're not converting. All right. So understanding this will allow you to get a better perspective of why your one-time offers may not be converting, so you can make it better. So otherwise, if I just jump straight into showing you how to set up smart one-time offers, what would happen is you would be blindly guessing, and we want you to be successful. All right. So that's why we've kind of mapped this video course out as it is. So most one-time offers don't convert simply because they are unrelated to the front end offer. And now, while that does seem like a no-brainer, that's a very, very common mistake. And that's fine. If that's you, that's totally fine, because now you can improve it. But think about it for just a second. Let's say that you bought a course on how to save taxes. You're presented with a one-time offer, which is another course, which is how to run your business better. All right. And I've seen this. I've seen hundreds of one-time offers, hundreds and tons of funnels, and this has happened. And yes, while they are related, and you might have some folks buy into it because they are related, they do run a business, and most of the time business related taxes. If it's personal taxes, obviously it's not related, but if it's business taxes, then yes, it is related. And they might buy into that. You might get one or two or a few people, or even sometimes you might even get like 5% buy it. But the fact of the matter is, yes, they are related, and you might have some people buy it, but it doesn't exactly solve the person's initial problem, which is related to taxes, business taxes, let's say. So a lot of times when people build funnels, they start with the lead magnet first, then they build the front end offer, and then they build the one-time offer. But if you think about it, if you do that, it's very, very hard to build exactly what people want. You're gonna have to do it backwards, and I'll show you in just a minute. So this is wrong, and I'll show you why in this mind map. Okay, so I'm in Lucidchart right now, and a typical or traditional funnel looks like this, or it's built like this. Typically, you start obviously with the lead magnet, and then of course you do a front end offer. And a lot of times, if you think about it, let's just do a lead magnet for the sake of the whole funnel. Of course, you're going to have several different lead magnets because you're trying to build your list. A lead magnet, if you aren't aware of what it is, it's just a freebie that you're giving away for free in exchange for somebody's email address. So the goal of this is to build a list of people who eventually want your funnel, right? Now, a lot of times people will just think, okay, what's a good lead magnet that I have? Or what can I put together? And they'll just slap it together. And the next thing is they'll put together a front end offer. And they're thinking, okay, this is a really good front end offer that I can put together. And the next thing they'll do is they'll think, okay, what kind of one-time offer can I put together? And a lot of times they won't even think about it. They'll just say, okay, I've got this thing, right? And then they're thinking, okay, maybe I gotta put another one-time offer number 2. That's just a good offer, right? So my point is, not a whole lot of thought is put into it, or maybe there is a lot of thought that is put into it, but it's just random, right? So the majority of one-time offers and the whole funnel is usually created this way. And by doing it this way, kind of in a very random way, this is actually not good for your funnel, because how do you know if the progression from here will lead to here? Meaning, if somebody buys this, how do you know that is going to be exactly related to this, exactly related to this, and exactly related to this? So that's what happens when you move from the front to the back. So with the Smart OTO, we use a different method, which I'll show you in just a minute. Hello and welcome back. This is video number 4. And we're going to talk about an overview of the Smart One-Time Offer and why they convert. So at this point in time, you will understand why the traditional way of creating a one-time offer is not converting. So now it's time to show you how to set up smart one-time offers, or one-time offers that do convert. Now here, what we want to do is start brainstorming how you can implement this strategy into your own sales funnel to ensure that you give your customers what they want. So here's the part where you actually put yourselves in their shoes. But this process is going to make your life a lot easier. I wish I knew this when I was setting up one-time offers back in the day. And then when I figured this out, I was like, wow, I was actually doing it the hard way. So referring back to the example in the previous video, taxes. The way a smart one-time offer works is to ensure that it is actually related to your original offer. Now you might be thinking, well, that's a no-brainer. I do that all the time, or that should be easy. But really, let's just take this as an example. So to recap, if the front end offer is how to save money on taxes, and we established previously that it was business taxes. So how to save money on business taxes. And if the one-time offer was, let's say, a review, a manual review by a CPA of your taxes and what you could potentially be leaving on the table, then yes, they are more likely to say, yes, I want that. Because with the front end offer, they bought that because they know that they may be losing money on the table and they're not saving money. So they bought the course on how to save money on taxes. So having a review of that would be good, right? That would be related. Now, a lot of times, how do you get to that point? Well, there are many different directions or angles and different types of one-time offers that you can create. So what I want to do is just give you some examples. We're not going to focus too much on this, but I'm going to give you some examples so that way you can kind of begin to brainstorm what you might want to do. Now, if people are buying the initial offer, the question is, will they pay more to have it done for them, or would they rather do it themselves? So a lot of times you'll find people, they'll buy your course or they'll buy your digital product or they'll buy your service, but they're either on one side or one end. They'll either want to do it themselves or they want it done for you. It's really hard to know. So a lot of times if you can offer a mixture of those in your funnel, you'll actually get higher conversions, especially if you know that the person buying it has a limited amount of time and at the end of the day, they would rather you do it for them. So knowing this answer to this question can really help you create one-time offers that actually sell like hotcakes. Now, while we could talk about different angles all day, like I said earlier, let's get back to the smart one-time offer. So how do you ensure that people who go through your lead magnet buy your front-end offer and then buy the majority of your one-time offers? This is simple. What we need to do is we need to work backwards. And while I know this doesn't really make a lot of sense right now, it will. So like I said earlier, keep an open mind. Do not assume anything. Do not assume or bring in any type of preconceived notions. Just kick that out right now. So I'm going to show you literally how to hack your funnel conversions by working backwards. So what we need to do is we need to start with your biggest, best one-time offer, meaning what you love only your best buyers to buy. Out of 1,000 buyers, you might only have like 400 buyers buy everything, or you might only have 200 buyers buy everything. But I want you to think it closely. What do you want those 200 or those premium buyers to buy, right? So what is your biggest, baddest, best one-time offer? So I want you to start with that first. Or you could say, what is the most expensive one-time offer? The one all the way at the very end. Start with that first. Whether it's one-time offer 3, 4, or even 5, you want to start there. So first off, think, how many one-time offers do you need to solve the problem that the person has, and then start right there. So what is the ultimate solution essentially? It could be more expensive, it could be the solution or whatever. Write that down right now. Pause this video and write that down, all right? So hopefully by now you have written that down, and I want to give you some examples here. So maybe if you haven't written that down yet, that's totally fine. If hopefully by giving you examples, it will help you kind of get an idea there. So let's say, for example, that you are a tax professional and you want to offer consulting for a high-end fee. So you could jot that down. You could also think about doing it for them. Like I said, done for you services, whatever that looks like. So it could be DIY, it could be done for you services, whatever could be the biggest, baddest, last one-time offer. So let's say, for example, that we have 4 one-time offers, and we'll start with one-time offer number 4. So what we need to do is we need to figure out, okay, so one-time offer 4 in this case is the person offering consulting a high-end fee. So what we need to do is from there, you need to move one step back to one-time offer number 3. So basically, one step backwards and think. All right, if someone cannot afford one-time offer number 4, what is the next best thing? In other words, what we like to do is we like to take a piece of that and move backwards. So what is the next best thing? Perhaps group consulting. So maybe group consulting could be the one-time offer number 3, and one-time offer number 4, maybe that's one-on-one personal consulting. So number 4 is one-on-one, number 3 is group consulting, and then move backwards. What could be one-time offer number 2? Well, let's take a piece of that and move backwards. But you see, by taking a piece and piece and piece and move backwards, what you're doing is you're creating a related, congruent one-time offer or funnel. So what's the next best thing if people cannot afford group consulting? Well, maybe you take audio recordings from the group consulting. You know, obviously nothing is better than live group consulting, but having those audio recordings is just as good. So maybe that will be one-time offer number 2. Then we take a step back to one-time offer number 1, and we can take a piece of audio recording and perhaps turn it into a book. So they're still getting a piece of that group consulting or that personal consulting, but it's actually not consulting anymore. It's just a book or a course kind of thing. You get the point? You're basically taking a piece, moving back, taking a piece, moving back, taking a piece, moving back. And then you can even move that into your front end offer as well. And you can do the same with your lead magnet. So if you do that, guess what? Whoever consumes your lead magnet, you're going to attract a very specific person. They're going to definitely want the front end offer because it's a larger piece, of the lead magnet. And the one-time offer is a larger piece than the front-end offer. Then the one-time offer number 2 is a larger piece than number 1 one-time offer. So hopefully that makes sense. If it doesn't, don't worry. We'll map it out visually so that you can see it in the next video. So like I said, it'll make more sense in video number 5, but that should kind of get your mind going a little bit. So that's it. Let's move on to video number 5, and let me map it out so you can visually see it so that it can really stick in your minds.